Hey everybody out there, Meagan Marshall here, director of the HCH Living Writers Series, and I am joined by my fabulous co-conspirator, Markel Tumlin. Hello, Markel.
Hello, Meagan.
Thanks for joining me in this virtual session to talk a little bit about some of our favorite living writers' memories and give y'all a little preview of what we can expect for this semester's series. A lot of exciting stuff. So, Markel, you have actually been working with this series and collaborating through the library for a long time. How many years has it been since you?
Oh, it's been about 20.
Wow.
Maybe? Yeah, around at least 20, yeah.
Wow. And it's just so wonderful that this kind of collaboration has been happening for so long with the library and the series. It's such a wonderful kind of connection that we were able to make at SDSU. So it's unfortunate that we have to be virtual this semester, but I think it's going to be an exciting new frontier for us.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and room 430 will be there waiting for us when we get back. Hopefully, hopefully that'll be next year sometime. But yeah, this will be exciting to see how it goes, and I'm hopeful that we'll be able to draw in a big audience too, since it'll be accessible online. So.
That's right. Yes. So recorded on Zoom, streaming via Facebook Live, and then posted on our new shiny YouTube channel.
Very nice.
Yeah. So I was hoping that you could share with everyone maybe a memory about one of your favorite readings from this series from the past years.
Well, one of the reasons that I knew that it had been 20 years was because I dug out some of the old books that I'd gotten signed over the years.
Nice.
And I found one that was signed in November of 2000 by Lance Olson.
Mm-hmm.
And Lance has been back to read a few times, of course, even in recent years. He's been very prolific, very great writer. And I had a special spot for Lance because he was actually on my master's review committee when I was at the University of Kentucky when I got my master's in 1988. I didn't really know him well at the time, but when I reconnected with him at San Diego State, he remembered me, and we've kind of forged a friendship since then. So that's been very nice. But so many memories to draw from with this series, so many years of memories. I mean, we had Galway Cannell read here one time. We had
I was there.
That was a wonderful read, and I love that read. I've got a picture of myself with Galway, and the expression on my face just looks like I just can't believe that I'm standing there with Galway Cannell, And then, of course, a lot of great ones in recent years. I'm always particularly excited when we have anyone that's SDSU related come in, whether it's a faculty member in the program or a former faculty member, like when Glover came back and read a couple of times since he retired. I've always loved his work. And also when the alums come back and read, Jenny Manetti Shippey, Matt De La Pena. I mean, the list just is huge. Chris Mazza's coming back this semester, and so I'm very excited about that one coming up. But yeah, there's so many memories; it's hard to really just pick too many. What about you? What are some of your favorite memories?
Well, I think I definitely agree with you that anytime we can get an SDSU affiliate, specifically the alums, to come back and read, I think that's always such a special experience. And so, I think for me, one of my favorites was a year ago, essentially, for when we were celebrating the 30th anniversary of the MFA program in creative writing. And so I curated the series so that each one of our readers was an MFA affiliate. And it was just kind of such a warm atmosphere. It was like having your friend over for dinner for each one of those events. And it was just so great to see some old faces and kind of see the newer MFAs interacting with some of the alums and just being really excited about the community that we're sort of all a part of, in the MFA. So I think that's definitely one of my favorites. Another, I think, actually there's maybe two because it was somewhat similar circumstances. The first was when Jericho Brown's read a couple times.
Yes.
So it was the most recent, which I think was a few years ago, maybe even 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he almost didn't make it. He had missed his connecting flight because
I remember that. Yeah,
flight was late. And I remember sort of calling you and saying, "Hey, well, he's going to be here, but he's going to be late. Can you kind of stall for a little bit?" And I think he ended up, I rushed to pick him up from the airport. We rushed to campus, and I think we ended up starting the reading maybe 40 to even like 60 minutes late. Mm-hmm. But everybody stayed.
Yes.
And it was standing room only for that event too. So I think that, I mean, it's just a testament to how wonderful a poet and speaker Jericho Brown is, that folks were willing to wait, you know, knowing that he was kind of running a little bit late for that event. So I think that was really cool.
It's a very understanding audience, I think.
Yes.
And I was super glad that I got to see Jericho that time, because I do remember the first time he read was one of the rare times I had to miss. I had a conflict that night and couldn't make it. So, and you know, and he's such a wonderful poet. I was really glad to be there when he made the return visit. So,
yeah, I mean, I really, and he just gave such a dynamite performance, and I think was so thankful to the audience for staying, and so that turned into a great event. And I think another one of my favorites was Jane Hirschfield, that we had in the large room. Yes,
I remember that. Yes,
also Lonely Without Us. And her flight was delayed because there was this very strange situation happening where they weren't allowing flights to actually come into San Diego. And so luckily she kind of got there in the nick of time, but she had to change from her, you know, airplane clothes into her reading outfit in the bathroom at SDSU. And I remember I had to bring her some snacks to eat in the car on the way there, because she hadn't really had a chance to eat anything or to get a proper meal. But she was just so graceful and so wonderful and humble. And she also gave a magnificent reading that evening. So I think it, you know, it's sort of the stress building up, the possibility of things going awry, but then when everything works out and you know, and such a wonderful event ensues, I feel like some of those are my favorite moments.
Well, you know, and it just goes to show that the writers and the audience both are so nice and so understanding. It just creates that wonderful atmosphere that we always enjoy when we have one of these events. So.
Yes, and I think we are so lucky to have had such a wonderful experience. I remember, you know, speaking about the series, there was a question somebody asked me if there was, you know, any sort of gossip, or if there was any issues with the writer who may have said or done something. But really, I mean, they've all been so wonderful, and the audience has always been so wonderful with great questions and such a great, you know, receiving of each of these authors. So I feel like we've been really lucky over these years.
Yes. No, it's been a real honor to be able to do this for people, you know, and to have that community. So. Great people. I'm looking forward to extending that community into an online environment this fall.
Right. Yeah. Yes, and that's kind of, that represents the new frontiers here, so that we are continuing with the series, because, you know, this is one of the longest running reading series in the country. So we can't stop now.
That's right. That's right. You just got to roll with the punches and do what it takes.
Yeah, exactly. And just kind of adapt. So we are adapting. Right. We are adapting this semester, possibly next semester as well. But we do have a really awesome slate of writers starting on September 23rd. So, Markel, maybe, you know, who are you excited about for this semester?
Well, that first one that you just mentioned, the 23rd, I'm truly looking forward to that. It's almost like an extension of the 30th anniversary that we had last year, because it's going to be all these wonderful faculty writers. Sandra Alkos, who's going to read, Blas Falconer, who just has been working at SDSU for a while, but is now a regular member of the faculty. Wonderful man, great poet. And I'm looking forward to that. Really, really nice guy. And then who is it? Matt De La Pena and April Wilder, I think, are the other two. I mean, that's an all-star lineup right there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So I'm really looking forward to that one very much. So I always love hearing Sandra, because, of course, she founded the program, and it's just such a wonderful and just poet of such great stature that I always feel like I'm really lucky when I get to hear her read. So.
I agree. And Sandra also has been so instrumental in keeping the series going, and really, you know, championing it and getting students to come and having them take the related course component. So I always love to see Sandra read as well. And two, you know, like you said, it's sort of like a repeat of that, the 30th anniversary, that it's always nice to kind of hear from the talented folk that are right here and, you know, in our local community. So I'm excited for that event too.
Well, I would add that they are talented folk in our community, but their stature is much larger than this community, because these are nationally known internationally known writers. So
Right. If we think
we're
about
lucky to have them in our community. So
yeah, Matt de la Pena, Newbery Award medal winning.
mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, bestseller. So we are very lucky to have people of such stature.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to that one. And God, we got such a great lineup. We have a couple other events that feature alumni and faculty. I'm looking forward. I'm not want to jump too far ahead here, but we have Chris Mazza coming back on October the 14th. She's an alum. She's read before, and she's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really looking forward to that. And then, of course, the 28th, the other reading for October is our own Stephen Paul Martin, who is just brilliant and one of the things I love about him is just he's got such a great demeanor and sense of humor.
Yes.
And such a love for his craft, and just he's one of he's another one that I really have enjoyed hearing read a few times over the years since I've been there, and I'm looking forward to hearing him online. I've never heard him online before, so this will be a new angle.
Yeah, I haven't either. And something that not many people know about Stephen Paul Martin is that he doesn't do a lot of readings. Mm-hmm. Not that he's adverse to it, but he's working hard. He has, I think, over 20 books. And also he is working closely with students all the time. So whenever he wants to give a reading, and he's such a wonderful performer as well, I'm always happy to oblige. So, I think this is only, the second reading he's done in maybe the last decade. So,
well, I'm
excited for that.
I'm looking forward to what he's going to read too, because it's a forthcoming work that's going to be published in Fiction International, I think, is where I read he's going to be publishing that. And so we get like this great sneak preview, so I can hardly wait.
Mm-hmm. Well, and on that note too, Chris Mazza is sharing selections from her new novel. Yet to come. Yeah, and that was just released this year, and so I'm really excited about getting to hear some new work, and having the privilege to have that little bit of a sneak peek too, especially for some of the stuff that hasn't even been published yet, like what Stephen Paul Martin will be sharing on the 28th, October 28th. Yeah. So yeah, I think too. In addition to hearing the new work from our SDSU and alum affiliates, the poet Kazim Ali will be reading from his newest book of poetry, which isn't even out yet. So it's coming out next month. He's actually closing out the series on December 2nd. So I'm excited that we will be one of the first public readings where he's sharing this new collection called The Voice of Sheila Chandra. So that should be a special treat too.
Yeah, that'll be fantastic. And what about the Akuma reading? Maybe we could talk about that a little bit. I think I skipped ahead of that one earlier, but that's, that one's going to be on September 30th, I think.
Yeah, so Allison Adele, Hedge Koch, American Book Award winner. And also, I love her style because she is so diverse in that she has collections of poetry, she has hybrid text, she's a memoirist. So I feel like she's also going to give a really dynamic presentation too. So, and then we also have the reading on November 18th. So we have some authors from a collection of essays called Reclaiming Our Stories. And that was put out by a local press, San Diego City Works Press.
And I think this is the second one of those they've done. I think this is Reclaiming Our Stories too.
Yes, exactly. So, and that book came out last year. And so that should be a really unique experience as well, because we get to hear from multiple voices. And a lot of the authors contained within are also local. So some of them are students at San Diego City College. So that's another kind of interesting event too, because we'll get to hear some more of those local voices.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, it sounds like we've got a really good fall ahead.
I think so. I could be biased, but
No, it's a great lineup. Now, just to recap, that September 23rd is the MFA faculty.
That's right.
September 30th is the Akuma reading with Allison Hedge Koch. I hope I got, October 14th is Chris Mazza. October 28th is Stephen Paul Martin. November 18th is Reclaiming Our Stories 2, the writers and editors from that. And then finally, December 2nd is
Kazim Ali.
I know I keep saying I need to train myself. Kazim Ali will be December 2nd, and that is lined up. And they're all, as usual, what night and what time?
I know, Wednesday nights, 7 p.m.
That's right. Easy to remember.
That's right, yeah. Even though we're going virtual, we got to keep some sense of consistency.
That's right, that's
yes,
right. Well, I'm just looking forward to having, a lot of people tune in and having just a really great semester.
I am as well, and we look forward to seeing you all there. Remember, Facebook Live. We're going to put out the schedule so that you can follow along, and then, you can see the recordings on our YouTube channel, along with some other really great original content created by students in the Living Writers class. So a lot of great stuff to come, a lot of great stuff to look forward to, and just, I think, a good way for us to feel connected, even though we have to be apart.
Yes, indeed.
All right. Well,
all right. Well, Meagan, thank you. It's been a pleasure chatting with you.
Yes, likewise, Markel. It's always nice to see you.
You as well. Yeah, take care.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.